Today we're going to start by solving equations. So some of you know how to solve equations in the calculator, and you did very well on your midterm by solving equations by hand. Some of you did it in the calculator and some solved by hand. But today we are going to practice solving equations by hand so you're very comfortable with getting a variable by itself. So the first step says draw a border. So we begin by drawing a border down our equal sign. That separates the left side from the right side. Step 2 says remove parentheses by distributing. So I have parentheses on the left that I can get rid of by distributing that 4. Distributing means that we need to multiply, so 4 times 2 is 8 with an x. 4 times 1 is positive 4. On the right side, there are no parentheses, so I can just bring down the terms from the right. Step 3 says combine like terms. But in this example, on the left side of my equal sign, there are no like terms to combine. And same on the right, there are no like terms. So we can skip step 3 for this one here. So in step 4, it says let's move those variables to the left. So my variable is this x. So I'm going to subtract 6x from here. And I'm going to subtract 6x from here. That leaves me with 8x's minus 6x's, which is 2x's. Bring down your number and bring down your constant in the back. Okay, next one. It says move the constant to the right. The constant is the number by itself. It's just a 4. So we're going to subtract 4 and subtract 4. That leaves me with 2x equals 6. Last but not least, get x by itself, so we're going to divide both sides by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. My spacing is not very good for this one, but it works. So go ahead and try the same thing with number 2. So in number 2, we're going to start by drawing a border. Let's use the same color. We don't have any parentheses to distribute. We don't have any like terms on the same side of the equal sign, on the left or on the right, so you can go straight into step 4. The letter needs to go to the left. Subtract 3x, subtract 3x. 5x's minus 3x's is 2x's, plus 2 equals 8. Get x by itself by moving the constant to the right. So that leaves me with 2x equals 6. Again, get x by itself by dividing. This is like 2 times x, so we divide by x. So my final answer is x equals 3. So now you can try the same thing. Let's look at number 3. So in number 3, I have a border. I'm going to put a 1 in front of this d because this is technically 1d. There are no parentheses to combine, so I don't need to combine like terms. I'm sorry, there are no parentheses, so I don't need to distribute, but I do need to combine like terms. So on the left, there are 6 d's and 1 d, so those will go together. 6 plus 1 is 7d. Plus 10. On the right side, just bring down 2d minus 25. So now go ahead and solve this by moving the letter to the left and the number to the right, and then divide. So your final answer you should get is d equals -7. So go ahead and try the same things on numbers 4, 5, and 6. Okay, when you're ready from 4, 5, and 6, go ahead and flip to the next page. All right, so we started by solving equations at the very beginning of the school year. So now we're going to move into solving inequalities. So to solve an inequality, what we're going to do is draw a line just like we did before. So we still have our border. So we solve like we did on the first page. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. And then I'm going to get x by itself. There was no negative here, so I did not have to flip the sign. So step 1, it says solve, so we did that. Step 2, it says graph this thing on a number line. So that means I'm going to draw a number line. Put some numbers on there. So in this one here, we have 3, so I'm going to put a circle on 3. There's no line below it, so I'm not going to color it in because there's no line. It doesn't include it. It doesn't equal that. This is the greater than sign. It makes an arrowhead that points to the right, so I'm going to shade everything to the right. So what that means is that my x value could be anything bigger than 3, anything greater than 3. So we graphed it on the number line. Then it says write 3 possible solutions. So x could be 4, that's bigger than 3. X could be 5, x could be 6. Okay, so let's move on. So number 2, go ahead and try number 2. Same thing, try number 3. No sign flips because we did not divide by a negative. When you're ready, let's take a look at number 4. So number 4, we have parentheses, so we're going to distribute to get rid of parentheses. Then we solve for x. To get x by itself, we subtract 20 from both sides. Then we get x by itself by dividing -8. In this one here, we divided by a negative. So what I always say is line, line, flip the sign. So because I divided by the negative, this new sign is going to be greater than or equal to. 8 divided by -8 is the number -1. Graph a number line. Put a circle on it. There's a line below, so we're going to close that circle and include the -1. On this number line, next would come 0, 1, 2. So 2. In this one here, everything is greater than, so it's all to the right of -1. So I solved it, I graphed it on the number line, and I need 3 possible solutions. So x could be -1 in this one. It included -1. It could be 0. It could be +1. So you're going to continue through these. In number 5, you have some like terms that need to go together. Move your letter to the left, that number to the right. Solve. If you divide by the negative, that's when you'll flip that sign. So go ahead and try numbers 5 and number 6. Then you're going to grab a Chromebook or your phone and log into your IXL, and you're going to do the practice for solving equations and solving inequalities.